Okay then, year 5. So we're going to be carrying on with our fractions of amounts that we did yesterday. All right, so let's just have a little recap before we go on to solving some problems. So you can see here on the left-hand side, I've written numerator and denominator. So remember, the numerator, which is the number above the fraction line, usually tells me how many pieces are shaded. Okay, or how many pieces of pizza I've eaten, or how many slices of cake. The denominator tells me the total number of fractions. So if this was slices of pizza, it would be the total number of slices in that pizza. So if we look at the example then to the right, I've just drawn, and apologies, remember fractions should all be equal. Okay, so you can see they're roughly equal, okay, just for the purposes of this demonstration, but truly speaking, each fraction would be the exact same size. So my question is, how many fractions are shaded in? So the numerator is referring to the shaded pieces or fractions. So that would be 4 shaded. Remember, the denominator is the total number of fractions. So how many fractions are there in that example? Shaded and unshaded. So there's 4 shaded and there's 2 unshaded. So altogether there's 6. So 4/6 are shaded. So hopefully that would mean you would be able to work out how many are unshaded. It would be 2/6. So in that example, the 2 numerators added up to give us the denominator. Now we're working out fractions of amounts. So let's just put a pound sign in front of that 20, okay? And let's say that you were doing some jobs around the house and your parents said, right, you've done really well there. You can have 4/5 of £20, provided you can work out how much that is. So remember, step 1 is asking yourself, how many times does 5, which is the denominator, go into 20, which is our amount. So remember, how many times does the denominator go into the amount? So how many 4s are there in 20? There's 4. So I need to keep that number in my head, and I need to multiply it by the numerator. And in this case, the numerator is 4. Okay, so my answer is 16. So 4/5 of £20 equals £16. Not bad for a day's work. So here are yours. So you've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 problems. So remember, step 1, I'll write this out again because I want you to get the right answers, okay? How many times, and I'll just write D for denominator. How many times does the D go into the amount? And then step 2, if you remember, is whatever that answer is, multiply your answer by the n, the numerator. So for this first one, A, you would say how many 8s go into 32, and then whatever your answer is, multiply it by 1. Okay, so pause the screen now, work your way through the answers, and then press play when you want to go through them. Okay, grand. Let's go through them then. Come on, let's get them all right. So, first one, how many 8s go into 32 would be 4. 4 multiplied by 1 stays at 4. B, underneath, 3/8 of 40. Okay, how many 8s go into 40 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. So you can see the rules that I'm following here. So 2/7 of 35 would be 10. 5/7 of 63 would be 45. 2/6 of 24. Well, again, how many 6s are there in 24? There's 4. Multiply that answer by the numerator. 4 times 2 is 8. Next one is 30. Next one is 25. And then the last one is, how many 10s go into 80? It would be 8. 8 times 3 is 24. So there are your answers. 4, 6, 8. Really, really hope you got all those right. If you didn't, but you've still followed that method, well done. Let's just keep practicing, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.